Hey, we're back. It's been a week, and I'm here with Roberta Burkhart with YourWeightYourLife.com. I love this folder because it blocks my fat. No. We're going to be talking about how the week went. This is our second meeting. We should be having a meeting every week with a client to talk about how it went. This is the second meeting, pardon me, and we're going to go over the first session in the book, nicely tabbed, and there is a food log, and on the food log, I did great. On the exercise program, not so good. Yeah, I was feeling a little sick yesterday, but as no excuse. I actually had a lot of great excuses, didn't have a lot of good action. So this is my incredibly messy writing. You probably can't see it. I don't know if the reflection glare is going to take out the... Anyway, if you follow along with the tweets that I've been tweeting, I've been putting all this food in the Twitter, and I've been telling you how I feel about it. Basically, I felt like a pig eating all this food. It was a lot of food. I mean, some weekends, like yesterday, right here, I have a breakfast, and then I slept because I kind of felt sick, and then there's a dinner, and that's probably an unhealthy way to eat, and she's going to talk to us about that.
And just to clarify the whole eating more thing, I think I wanted to just make sure everyone understand Zach didn't get here by eating small amounts of food. So the fact that I said he needs to eat more, meaning that on the plans he tried previously, he was drastically reducing his calories. And I think that was a hinder. And also the last month or so, you tried to do this on your own a little bit, and you were cutting out a lot of food. Mm-hmm. And I think that also might have done you an injustice because you were probably hungry. So it's not that he didn't eat a lot of food throughout his life. It's that recent attempts where he didn't eat enough food were a problem, and he didn't succeed at that. So that just wanted to clarify that a little bit. But yeah, eating a lot of food's great. But you enjoyed the food?
Yes, I did a lot. I've always liked boiled eggs, and I haven't minded wheat toast. I've always liked white toast, or white bread. But wheat's been fine, and the whole wheat breads are really hearty. They're really
they fill you up.
Yeah,
you know why that is, right?
No, actually, that's why I'm here.
It's the fiber.
There you go.
It's the fiber. The fiber's a filler, and that's why people say, what's the difference between white and wheat bread? Wheat bread has a ton of fiber, and that fiber digests slowly in your system, which makes you feel fuller longer.
And we have proof of that right here. Fiber One cereal.
Yes.
I had that for breakfast yesterday, and didn't eat for another probably 12 hours.
What?
Well, I slept a lot. I was sleeping a lot. But when I woke up, they asked me, "Aren't you hungry?" No, I wasn't hungry. I had 2 bowls of fiber cereal,
okay.
and actually a fiber bar too, Fiber One bar. Fiber One's pretty good. They got some good tasting stuff. Yeah, she recommended it.
Now, I don't recommend going 12 hours without food.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
No. But I think the point he's trying to make is Fiber One cereal does fill you up rather than having, garbage cereal with a lot of sugar or just a lot of carbs and no fiber or protein just doesn't fill you up. And the Fiber One cereal, because the fiber does give you that full feeling, so you can make it only for a couple of hours is the idea until you can, your next snack or meal. And so that's really good that it did fill you up, because that means that these kind of foods do work for you, which is great. And,
yeah.
and how's the taste, more importantly?
Oh, man. No, Fiber One, I've always liked, I'm the addict of Golden Grams. I like, yeah, honeycomb cereal. I've always loved the sugary sweet cereals. And honestly, there's the one that's like a caramel delight or something like that.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Man,
tastes like
it kind of
cinnamon
tastes
grams.
It tastes like cinnamon grams.
Yeah.
There's also the honey clusters, which was really good, and I haven't tried the raisin brand yet, but I'm assuming it'll be good.
Yeah, they're good. It's a good brand. Fiber One in general is a really good brand of products, because you're almost guaranteed, without a doubt, that you're going to get 8 to 10 grams of fiber in each serving. Mm-hmm. Now, when he says that he had 2 bowls, this is because he has a lot of caloric intake right now. Your average person would not be having 2 bowls and a Fiber One bar. That's too much for someone. But for him, right now, 2 bowls is fine. 2 servings is fine. But again, this is for Zach. So everyone's going to be different. But the idea is the Fiber One cereal worked, and that's great. That's great.
And my idea has been, throughout trying to eat correctly or better, is to front load all the calories. If I'm going to eat a lot, I'm going to do it at breakfast, have a smaller lunch, and even a smaller dinner, as long as I'm not hungry. And that works for me, because I used to just not eat breakfast. I'd always have some coffee, and then some more coffee, and
And some more coffee.
Some bad things. Sometimes Jack in the Box in the morning because that's where the coffee is. Really easy and quick. Yeah, but apparently this whole session today is brought to you by Fiber One.
We're not going to pay for that.
Yeah. They're not paying for that. So.
I think the biggest thing he discovered too is, and again, front loading your calories is really important. I think a lot of people do skip breakfast, and that's one of the things where your mother's always told you breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yeah, it really is. And so many people skip breakfast. Most because it's inconvenient. You know, they get up, they're running out of the house, which was you getting up, very soon before you have to leave. Yeah. And for that, my response was, what? When you said you didn't have time in the morning, what did I tell you to do?
Wake up earlier.
What a novel concept.
I'm like, wow.
So if you have the excuse that, I don't have enough time in the morning, well, wake up 15 minutes earlier, because it only takes 15 minutes to have a bowl of cereal. I mean, it's just a matter of wanting to do it. So anyone that says I don't have time for, you can always make time for whatever it is you need to do.
And then there was the first day I was supposed to exercise. I forgot to put on my exercise shoes, and I went to work in my dress shoes, and the semi-dress shoes. They're not for walking. And to her response was, "Oh, just have a spare pair of shoes at work." Oh, yeah, okay, so I can't have that excuse. And then on Friday, I was going to go out and walk, and it was really cold out there. Los Gatos, I mean, it was under 50 degrees or something like that. It was cold, and it was a little windy too. And I'm like, well, I don't have a jacket. I don't have my sweats. I'm not going to walk. And then I'm telling that to Anne-Marie, and Anne-Marie goes, you actually heat up when you walk. I'm like, damn it. But I was feeling under the weather. I did it anyway. I walked for 15 minutes. I felt warm in the center, but my hands were freezing. And I said, that's it. I'm going to go inside. And I ended up sleeping that night, sleeping the next day, and I'm feeling better today. So.
And the key too is if it is really cold outside, and even I know it's hard to walk right now. That would be where finding someone who has a treadmill or a gym where you can just go in and do it on the times you can't walk outside would be a good idea. It doesn't have to be an expensive gym. Mm-hmm. You know, it could be a gym that just has a treadmill. Yep. And that's all you need. Yeah, and Remy, who is his best friend, has one in his house, right? Yeah, so he's offered to let you use that. So if you need to pop over there at lunchtime and use the treadmill.
I didn't think of that.
Okay. So these are the things that you learn when you start talking to people. Things that he doesn't normally think about and it wouldn't occur to him makes sense now. But this is what I'm pointing out. Like, I did drop by his office during the week, and he'd just come back from lunch, and I saw that he was doing what?
I was watching videos. That's what I'd always do at lunch.
He was watching videos, and I said, okay, did you take your walk today? And he went, no, I really didn't have time. And I said, what are you doing right now? He's like, oh, I'm watching videos. I said, get out and walk. And he's like, okay. So that's where he needs to change his mindset a little bit, I think, that there shouldn't, if he's watching anything during lunchtime and it's videos and not work, then that's time better spent going out and exercising. And I think it's just a matter of priority, changing your priorities, changing the things you would normally do versus what you kind of need to do.
That and learning how to eat lunch and finish lunch in a half hour, because I've been eating lunch over an hour for 5 years now.
Which is because of the amount of food.
Yeah, the amount of food. So now I just, I was taking it easy and not trying to get ready to go. I don't want to exercise. It's something you're supposed to do, and I'm trying to want to, but it's not. Hey, that's not easy.
And you're not going to get there right away, but you will. I think when you start seeing results, it's a motivator, and that's hard. The first couple weeks of any plan is going to be hard because exercise is not fun for a lot of people. Yeah. I got to be honest. I've been doing it for 15 years. It's still not fun for me, but I know if I don't do it, I don't feel well. And you'll get to that point where if you don't exercise, one, you're going to feel better walking, but you're not going to feel good not doing it. Mm-hmm. And you'll get there, but it'll take some time.
There's already some quick differences. If you notice, like when you're sitting down, if you're overweight like me, and you're sitting down, you notice some knee pain from the strain of sitting down. Already, just walking 15 minutes and coming back to the office and sitting down again, I already noticed less pain in the knees because I don't know, maybe there's liquids moving or something. I don't know what it is, but or maybe that because they're already strained, I don't feel the pain. I don't know what it is.
No, you're just moving your muscles.
Yeah, it works quickly. So even as 15 minutes just to start, do that. My goal is an hour a day right now. I've failed, but I'm working.
But again, he's working his way, and you know what? 15 minutes, I'll take it.
Yeah,
if that's all you have time for, if that's all you're able to do, that's fine. And people do get busy. But what we want to avoid is sitting at lunch watching video games versus, I have 15 minutes, why don't I go for a walk?
Yeah, exactly.
Type thing.
Yeah.
So, again, it's just changing the mindset. And I think when I suggested that, you were kind of like, oh, yeah, I can go for a walk. It wasn't like, oh, God, I have to go for a walk. You were kind of like, oh, all right.
Yeah, well, that and with the permission of the boss, the owner, saying, you don't go for a half hour. I only had 50 minutes left for lunch. And he goes, no, do it for half hour. I'm like, yeah, extra time.
That was kind of a bonus.
Yeah.
But had he done the half-hour lunch and then gone to walking, he would have had the time. So just a different way of thinking about things. Now, you had mentioned also your body's definitely working a little better now, and you feel better.
Yes, the internal workings of the body. Which we don't mention.
Use your imagination.
Yeah. My times in, actually, I think I referenced this before, my office. If you get some of my old videos, you'll see my girlfriend and my roommate found a plaque said the office and put it on my bathroom door. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so my office time has been a lot more comfortable lately. That's kind of embarrassing. Yeah.
I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's again though, but overall, it's amazing what happens when you change your foods. And you felt that within 3 days.
Yeah, that was a hell of a lot of fiber going through the system, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but it was, but it was definitely, I mean, now this point it's a week, so I hadn't seen you in about 4 or 5 days. Has it gradually even gotten better? I mean, physically, you've been ill under the weather.
Yeah, I was sick, so it got worse, and then it got better again. It's a lot better. Even when it was worse. It was a lot better than my bad times before. I mean, it's I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Anyway, everything changes when you start eating the right foods, and what will eventually happen, and it's going to take you a while, but we'll get there. Is that you won't want to eat the crap, and when you do eat it, it won't make you feel very good. You'll feel lethargic. Even your brain, even your personality, everything kind of changes when you start to eat junk after you've been eating really good for a while, and you'll feel a dramatic difference. And that's kind of an internal motivator. It's like, oh, okay, this is my body telling me, I don't like these foods anymore. It doesn't want me to eat these foods anymore. And that'll come eventually. And the other thing I want to point out, obviously we haven't talked about his actual weight. The reason is that the scale we tried to use didn't quite work.
It maxes out at 450. It stopped at 430 a couple times, but I think because when I step on something, the pressure I exert is a lot more than 450 pounds at first. So as soon as that scale hits the 450 mark, it says, sorry, can't measure you. So we're thinking it's close because it was fluctuating between 435 and 428 or something like that.
Something like that.
So we're thinking it's about 430 right now. I'm going to get a better scale and a food scale so we can start weighing out portions. Jack's the girlfriend, if you've seen some old videos. My girlfriend actually counted out like portions for me on several different snacks. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, whoa, okay, we gotta get that food scale in here quick. So
it's much easier with a food scale. I mean, you can see that on serving sizes. It'll say like, let's say chips. It'll say like 17 chips, 28 ounces. Or excuse me, 28 grams. 28 grams is a typical weight for anything that's like a nut or a chip or anything like that. 28 grams is one serving. That's what they use. So when you have a food scale, instead of going 1, 2, you put a bunch on a plate, and boom, you're there. You take one off or put one back on, and it takes a lot less time. Yeah. And it's not nearly as tedious. So as soon as you get that, I think it'll go a lot quicker.
And it's something that I would do. I wouldn't count out veggie sticks. That's a lot of time. I could be washing dishes or something. But anyway, thanks for that, honey. I appreciate that. Those are really good snacks.
Again, that support system, super important.
Yeah.
So this week what we're going to do is we're going to turn the camera off. We're going to sit and go through his food log, kind of see what's going on and where he might need to tweak a little bit. And we're going to talk about how he can improve the exercise piece of things. And then we'll come back and finish up a little late. Yeah?
Cool.
All right.